Roger. With a name like Roger, what kind of greatness could one achieve? Well, there have been terrific Rogers, but no Roger fact or statistic was enough to soothe this certain Roger's obsession with doing something great with his life. So he went to school where he had friends, then he stopped going to school, and he lost his friends, and he lay awake at night watching the shards of light on his walls and ceiling. The shards of light came into his room by the edges of his shades and pockmarks in his curtains. They would be gone by the morning, enveloped by the rising sun, but the shards remained impressed on Roger like precious jewels. His preoccupations became dioptric. Dioptric is an adjective relating to the refraction of light, especially in the organs of sight or in devices which aid or improve the vision. Roger started to ask some big questions of life. He even read some of Plato's work, and that is a good accomplishment because few people in his town were revisiting Plato, and almost no one reads all of Plato. Roger agreed that we are casually transcendent, vessels drawing from greater unknown variables. Roger got a bit too sure of himself without consulting armchair doctors who could have helped him to understand his ideas in the lens of history or peers. Roger went around his humdrum town of Peabody, sure that he understood what he might not have about light, confirming his inarticulate thesis in the shards of light that bejeweled his eggshell wall paint. There were L's and I's and R's and Odgers on the wall, crowns and animals. So Roger saw any and all words you can make with I's and L's and R's and Odgers. His strange private seeking grew. And he kept the shards of light to himself, and he even saw them in the orange afternoon light on the vents of his room. When he turned 22, his father was taking his mom to Boston, and they got into a car accident and died. They were not wearing seatbelts. Their bodies flew from the car. There was one funeral. Roger's parents looked white as sheets in their coffins at the wake before the funeral. After losing his parents, Roger became a full-fledged melancholic, and he did not stop with his peculiar inquiry into the nature of life as if it were dependent on shards of light. For, as Foucault illuminates, the melancholic's mind is fixed on a single object, imposing unreasonable proportions upon it. Roger was unable to keep a job, so he ended up walking around outside and sleeping under random roofs and bridges, trying different townships around Peabody. He found shards of light under a bridge on a Tuesday, like it was the same as his bedroom. It became increasingly hard to find a place to sleep because he got more obsessive with the shards of light and could only talk about how they glowed under the bridge on any given particular day to the homeless who could stand him but did not share his same obsession. This is what life was for Roger into early middle age, wandering and confused, and he did not meet any girl to save his life. In fact, he remained a virgin. He called himself Reducto. Then, one night, Roger was falling to sleep hunched down into his own arms, when he looked up at concrete blocks where light shards spelled, "You have passed the test of dedication to an idea, Reducto. Now it is time for you to be happy as a man." Roger realized he was ready for that. He experienced Satori. Satori is a noun, a Buddhist term, a breakthrough moment of awakening. It represents a transformative experience that goes beyond intellectual understanding, a moment of profound realization that can bring a deep sense of peace, liberation, and expanded perspective on life. Satori. So he woke up again one day, and he was only 32, and he had yet to lose his parents or live on the streets, and he stopped replaying the same old inquiries and cleared his mind for new experiences, being simple, becoming a much happier man, agreeing to the present for the rest of his life.